Hello, and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther, and I'm in my bedroom, and I've had a hard time making myself get videos together to put out. It's been more than a month, I think, since I did my last video, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to start one in my bedroom, and then I'll head out to the garden, and if I can just get started filming, then I could get something out. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I've been working on a cut flower garden. I really love having bouquets of flowers, fresh cut flowers in the house, but I just had a hard time figuring out how to get it started. And I've been reading through a bunch of books, which I'll talk about later in this video, on some tips for getting started. And I'm not going to do a whole tutorial here, but I just want to show you where I'm at in the process. And then once I have like a really good sense of it and I've gone through a season or two of it, then I'll do like a whole tutorial. But let's get started by heading out to the garden and see what's going on out there. So this is one of my 2 community garden flower beds. These are single stem sunflowers that I started the seedlings indoors, I think early July. I transplanted them out in late July and they're already forming heads, which is really exciting. So these are just for cutting and putting in arrangements. I already cut one there. I got a couple more growing here. Part of what I need to do as a cut flower garden is once they start blooming, I need to come out and harvest flowers twice a week at minimum in order to help them continue, like cut and come again, like zinnias here, to help them continue to bloom. So you may see a small number of actual flowers that have bloomed, and that's partly because I have cut a lot of the flowers. So these are zinnias. These are like a multicolor zinnias. There's yellow, orange, pink, white, and then over here I have basil. This is lemon basil and Thai basil, and then I have a couple of coxcomb plants that hopefully will get big enough to actually put into a thing. But this is basically what the bed looks like. And just to show you, here's that same bed a week later. See how fast they grow? So I put in this flower support netting when the plants were about this tall, so they could grow up through it and get a little bit of support, and so the stems could grow straight. So I forgot to bring a bucket to put them in, so I'm putting them in. I'm putting them in this, taking off the leaves, putting them in this water pail. That one needs a little more time. This one's ready. They don't have to be the exact same length because I'm going to trim them all down probably. I know this one's been ready for a while. Okay, bugs stay off of me. So with zinnias, you harvest them, this is my first year doing this. I read that you want to wait to harvest them until they're mostly open, because that's kind of how open they'll stay. You can have some of this stuff in the center. And this one got eaten a little bit. But also harvest it partly as a cut and come again, but I can also hide that, among others. Let's see what else we got. This one's pretty good. Not very tall. Yeah, I think that's good for these. I will harvest that one too. There we go. So pretty. Oh, that's gonna make for a nice bouquet. All right, let's go over to the sunflower. Let's see. Well, that one does have a little bit of one coming out lower down. That's cool. Unlike zinnias, where you can just take the leaves off. Okay. Oh no, I missed one. That's all right. Lesson learned. I kind of like that they face forward like this, because that'll make it easier for a vase. All right, let's see. No buds around you. Well, there's a little bud growing in there, but there's no way I can save that and cut the flower. Okay. Trying not to cut I use that same netting here. I don't want to cut the flower, and it's too wide to fit through the square, so I'm going to cut off the branches and bring it up. Trim it a little better now. Sorry, bumblebees. I know you really do like these, but I'm growing these for a purpose. See, I can cut that down to here, and I will probably, I don't see any buds coming from this one, so I'll probably take that one up by its roots. And I've got some seedlings I need to transplant tomorrow in place of where I cut these down, so I'll do that tomorrow. All right, look at that. Part of how a cut flower garden works is that you're constantly having flowers in rotation. So while these zinnias and herbs are growing, I have seedlings started for more sunflowers, and I've also started seedlings that I'm going to be transplanting this week and next week that are basically going to grow until the first frost, and they're going to stay dormant until like February, March, and then they're going to bloom in early spring. All right, let's go inside and see those. I'm also growing some seedlings for the fall and winter vegetable garden, so we'll look at those as well. I'm turning off this light so you can see the seedlings better. Here I have the different seedlings I've been growing in soil blocks. So this is Black-Eyed Susans, Sweet William, Baby's Breath. Over here we have two different types of snapdragons with Apple Blossom and Rocket Mix. Over here are the seedlings I'm growing for the fall and winter garden for my vegetables. So this is spinach. This is Monstru de whatever. These are the big leafed spinach, basically. And this is bok choy, the Hado Tiny. They make the tiny little heads. I'm probably going to plant that in one of the front beds here at the house. Although maybe not, because the rabbits are bad. And then I need to transplant these today. These are sugar snap peas that I need to get out into the garden. They're big enough, they're tall enough that I can transplant them. They're healthy enough. I haven't done any hardening off, but the weather's not too hot, and hopefully they'll be able to handle the sun. These are ones that I will transplant, and I expect to stay somewhat dormant. I'm about to start up some seedlings to do some soil block, and I'm about to start up some seedlings indoors, some seeds indoors, Colorado Yarrow, Champion Pro Mix, Campanola, which is Canterbury Bells, and some Dalmatian Mix, Foxglove. These are all ones that are recommended for a cut flower garden versus, a cottage garden or something like that. So I'm going with different varieties of seeds than I normally would if I was just doing a flower garden for my front yard. These are ones that specifically do well either as cut flowers, produce relatively fast, or produce sort of flowers that perform well as cut flower arrangements. Here's the book that I've heard about on a podcast I was listening to, and I've sort of been basing my cut flower garden off. It's by Lisa Mason Ziegler of the Gardener's Workshop, which has its own website, offers classes, and sells seeds. I'm not affiliated with them in any way here. The thing I like about this book is that it has a plan for sort of what you could plant in each season to rotate out to make sure you have, you basically use 4 beds to rotate out to grow what you need. I'm not following this exactly, but I like having this concept. And then she has a whole section on each of the types of flowers, including how to grow them, when to harvest them, some varieties she recommends. And it's just a really useful book. So that's what I've been basing a lot of my purchases for seeds off of for the cut flower garden. This one doesn't really talk about bulbs or tubers. This is mostly for growing things from seed. I rented this from the library, which talks a lot more about bulbs and what to do in different different seasons in terms of harvesting and some flower arrangement suggestions. I may buy this book for myself now that I've found that it's quite useful. I think it could be another useful resource. And this is by Erin Benzakein and Julie Chai. It's called the Floret Farms Cut Flower Garden. So that's another one to check out if you're interested in learning more about this. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next week with an update on how the rest of my community garden plots and other things are going. So look forward to seeing you next time.